What makes a musical theater song great? Whether we're talking about Tonight from West Side Story, maybe This Time from Cabaret, What I Did for Love from A Chorus Line, Defying Gravity from Wicked, or Wait for Me from Hadestown. There are ingredients to all these songs that make them stand out, even above the fantastic scores that they come from. Let's break down each of these elements and explore how you might use them in crafting your scores to make the next wave, the next generation of great musical theater songs. First and foremost, I do need to acknowledge that not every song in a musical is going to be great, and that is not only okay, that is good. Let's be real, some songs simply serve a function. There's things like plot movement, or character growth, or comic relief, or charm. There are lots of different functions a song could serve that will prevent it from being one of the great ones. And well, if they were all great, are any of them great? We do, of course, want to make sure that all of our songs are appropriate to the moment and the character and what's happening in the musical. And that could mean that things get broken up into various parts of scenes, and it's okay if that prevents the song from being great. It's totally fine. But let's talk about the great ones. Songs are at the heart of a musical theater story. They help us move the plot forward. They help us deepen character relationship and understanding through development and through growth. And also, they are the thing that we are all following for the emotional arc of a show, often landing in peaks and valleys. So therefore, every song in a show should indeed serve the story in one of these capacities or multiple. I know it sounds basic to start here, but we do need to know the purpose that the song you are writing is serving. Which one of these? And is it multiple? Avoid writing songs that don't have a purpose. Those we would consider to be fluff. They are not going to be great. They may not even need to be there. They may be the first on the cutting room floor. Catchy hooks and great motifs. Oh, you want to write a song that's great? A part of that is going to be writing something that's sticky, sticks in the audience's head. They can sing it afterwards. And a large part of that is going to be a catchy hook and also musical motifing, so that things that get caught in here, we can't help but think about them again. This also goes past those ideas to the idea of writing a great melody. And I mean a melody that is not only tuneful, because fluff songs can have tuneful melodies as well, but a song that is both tuneful and has great intention behind it. What is the intention of the moment, the scene, the character, and how is that infused directly into the melody? One of my favorite examples of that is Defying Gravity from Wicked. Yes, I know we talk about it all the time, but it's a great song. And when you get to that chorus, and she says to leap, going up a fifth, and then it's time to try defying gravity. The way that the melody is structured, in addition to having, of course, a lovely hook that we all remember, it is built to make us feel the flight, feel the potential, feel the growth inherent to this moment. That is great intention matched with an excellent melody. Now you knew this one was gonna come, but we need an excellent structure. Yes, we can go with the tried and true structures. I'm all for the tried and true structures. I mean, you know me, I love a 32-bar chorus with some AABA, ABAB maybe, or we could do that kind of macro AABA song structure that we have in modern musical theater, or we could use verse-chorus form. And you know, all these, they're great. They're useful. Are they the only useful ones? No. A lot of great songs out there, when you break them down, you're like, oh, I see, it's related to a known structure, but it's not quite the same. It does its own thing. That does sound very different. And why? Because it's following through on the intentions of the moment, for the emotional journey, for the audience, for the characters on stage and their growth and development, and for the plot. One of my favorite examples of this one is the song She Loves Me from, well, She Loves Me. It is essentially an ABAC 32-bar chorus song, but when you really break it down, the question is it? Is it? But it's a great song. It really, really works. It nails it every single time. Now, we do deep dives into all these elements inside the Musical Theater Writing Workshop course, my flagship course. And so if you want to check that out and see if it's interesting to you, see if you want to apply, I will leave a link for that in the description below. hello. We talk all about this stuff with practical examples, and you also get to try things out as you go through the course, writing for different song challenges. It really is a lovely time. So check it out below, and if you're interested in applying, can't wait to chat with you. Again, this is going to feel very standard, but it's true. Your song needs a journey, needs a beginning, a middle, and an end. We have to move from one point to another. If your song is pure stasis, it's probably not going to be lifted up into the realm of the great songs. It may be a good song, but it's not going to be a great one. Now, to up this a little more, I like to think about the great songs in musical theater as having transformation built directly into them. Not just growth, not just change, but true transformation for the characters and across the plot, and often for the audience. If we resonate with what's happening on stage and we are there with the emotional journey of the song, we leave a song feeling transformed. That's a great song. Sorry to go back to Defying Gravity again for a second, but when I was watching part 1 of the film in theaters, both times I saw it, people were crying. People who don't like musicals, who I know don't like musicals, were crying. People, strangers, people you look and go, oh, that guy got dragged here. Crying. Transformation through the song. Defying Gravity will pull us through in terms of the intentions for the character and the plot moments, absolutely. But if you get everyone in a movie theater crying by the end of it, you transformed a whole room of people. Which leads me to our next point, which is that don't forget, songs in musical theater begin at high points of emotion. Which means if your intro into the song, your transition into the song isn't built upon the foundations of something that has high emotion attached to it, you may find yourself in the realm of, oops, this song is cuttable, or maybe fluff, maybe a good song, but it's probably not going to be a great one. The ones that are truly great are inevitable. Sometimes surprising, but inevitable. The last thing that makes a truly great musical theater song is that it feels universal. Now, some of you may look at that and go, but you were talking about Defying Gravity and none of us have gotten on a broomstick and flown. If you have, call me. I'd be interested to hear how that works. True, but we have all had moments in our lives where we've come up against a decision to be authentically ourselves or to follow what everyone else wants and says and does, whether we are doing it with a friend or not. The situation itself, the specifics of Oz in the world, yeah, we can't relate to that. But the universal feeling of having to decide whether to stick to your own guns or to follow the crowd is something we can all relate to. And most of the time, we do end up falling flat or falling backwards, not choosing ourselves in these gigantic ways that upend our lives and the lives of people around us. But then Elphaba does it. That is taking the idea of a universal thing, universal feeling, universal moment, and lifting it into the emotional peak so that it resonates in such a way that we can't help but be drawn into the story and the character's journey as though we are living it. And that makes for a great musical theater song. Now, as I said, not every single song in a musical is going to be a great song, and that is okay. That's good. They shouldn't all be great. The great ones should stand out above the pack. But also, this does mean that you will have to go through the adventure of cutting songs eventually. Some of them may be the fluff songs, some of them may be the only good songs when they need to be great, but how do you know which ones to cut? And if you have that question and want that answered, then you should watch this video next. Otherwise, thank you all for being here with me today, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers!